Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, so it seems to be okay, yeah, guys? Okay, good. All right, good. That's funny. of, of the two computers, I wouldn't expect this one because this one is full to the top. Sometimes it comes on and says, your disk is almost full. But this one had half the memory, like 8 gigabytes here, four of them were 3.5 was free, but it was giving us a problem. This one is like 4 gigabyte and only less than 1 gigabyte is free. So good, good. Ah, if we have been forgiven of the sins, then go ahead and click the thumbs up. All of you now. I've done my part, rebooted everything short of rebooting myself out of the window. So it's no, no. All right. Now let's see if we've how many we lost. Well, we had 8. We still have 8, but I don't see the same names here. Obviously, Dave couldn't make it to be first. He said, if you cut off again, I'll be the first still. Okay. Feridun says, salam. Did you answer my question? No, Feridun, you came from the middle of the movie. We were tackling an issue with the picture and the sound. So I kept looking and I said, what is this? And then I noticed you probably must have come in while we were trying to fix something. No, you might have to put it back on. You're from Norway, right? Your girlfriend has a boyfriend and she keeps sending you text. Is that what it is? Yeah, sure. You can ask again. But Feridun, didn't we tackle this question last time? Didn't we? It sounds similar that your ex was drunk and called you and you say she was drunk and called me, I think. And I told before she added me on the Snapchat. Yeah. And I think we discussed that already. She talked to me for about 2 days, then disappeared. But she still see my Snapchat history. Why are you so hung up on one person in this world to pay attention to and makes a difference to you? I know you're 19 and your hormones going to the roof and it's so important for you if your girlfriend, but you have to understand that girlfriend that you make her so important is not that important with the way she's behaving with you. The fact that she's left and has a boyfriend, or I don't know, maybe you asked her to leave, whatever it is, obviously you had reasons to call it off, or she had reasons for herself to call it off, right or wrong, I don't care. But those reasons are still in existence. Just because you two haven't been in touch for a while and miss each other, or you miss her, all sexual and all, for intimate reasons, lustful, it doesn't mean that she's the right girl. And it doesn't mean that you should think of her as important as you think she is. It's just how you feel. And that's great. Enjoy it. But don't make it like this, how I feel, is an indication that she's the woman of my life and she's so important and I can't do things. No. Because if you look at it, there was a reason for you guys broke up. Those reasons still exist, regardless of what. The fact that you haven't been around each other, it obviously makes you go through the memories and miss and all the lovey-dovey and stuff like that. That's it. You're 19. You will have another girl and another girl and another girl until you're about 30, and then you will begin to realize what it is that you're looking for and know a little bit more about yourself and know a little bit more about girls, and then maybe you look for something deeper and serious by then. But at this time, you know, she checks your Snapchat. Who cares? Whether she checks your Snapchat or doesn't, it shouldn't make any difference to you. But it does, because you think your identity is in her attention to you. That's not the case. You've been conditioned to think that other people's attention makes you feel important. And that's the importance that you guys are looking for. Listen to me carefully, guys. I was going to make a video of this separately, which I think I might. But for now, what you're really missing is the importance, because you've been conditioned since childhood that the importance is more important than your existence. That's why whatever made you feel important was more important than you actually doing something in your life to be important about yourself, accomplishing yourself. The feeling of importance became more important than the feeling of being alive. That's why often when something is taken away from you, which diminishes you in your mind about your importance have been diminished, you go nuts even though everything else in your life is intact. You have food to eat, you have a place to sleep, you're safe, you got education, you got your parents, you got your friends, you got your health. Everything is okay, but yet you feel crazy and, you know, uninterested or depressed because you feel you're not important. So the actual feeling of being important has become more important than the actual importance of life itself. And this is why many of you go nuts. It's not the girl that you miss, it's the feeling of being important that you miss, which have been conditioned and still in your brain since childhood, that is what the value of human being is, and the worth and the mission of you is in this life. To be known as someone important by the other people's opinions. Now I'm going to stop here because there are other things I want to say and I want to discuss it in a separate video perhaps. But you, for the short of the long, Feridun, is that just understand she's not the only girl in this life, and you haven't really seen anything in your life. You're just 19. You've had one or two girlfriends maybe, and you're just feeling like that's all life has to offer to you. It's not true. Just trust the flow of life. Many of you think that life is really totally in your hand. There are many things that we can do and we're in control of the outcome in this life, but there are things that we really are not that powerful. As long as we put ourselves in the flow of life, life has a movement and flow, and we will go with the flow, and therefore as this movement continues, there will be new things that we will encounter. But you think that there is no flow, you're not part of any flow, then therefore you can't do anything, and however it is, whatever it is now, it's final. Then you become devastated, you panic. What I want to tell you is just simply understand that whatever has happened to you is part of the flow. It turned out this way because it did, and it had reasons for it, and you don't need to ponder about the reasons. The fact is, focus on the factuality and the actuality of things. The actuality of things is that this breakup has happened, And you're okay with it because you believe in flow of life, and you believe that as this flow continues, there will be new things that comes to present itself, and you will become part of it. And on that faith, you go on. Don't think that this particular thing that you're separated from is the end all be all, and then therefore there is nothing else. There is a flow in this life. Life is bigger than this particular experience that you have. It's a fragment of your life. Do not make a fragment to be the whole entirety of your life. Just don't worry about if she checks your Snapchat or not. Just move on. Just believe in the flow. Trust the flow. As this flow brought her into your life, this flow took her out of your life, and this same flow, rhythm, energy, which never stops, will cause creation of new experience in your life, whether you want it or not. Just like you didn't know about this one will happen, you don't know about the next one will happen, but it did and it will. Let's now go to the next question. Black Hat says, Mehran, please help me out. My girlfriend told me she wanted to marry me. So, why do you think something that she says would change anything in the world, or it's so important? I'll read the rest of the thing because I glanced on the rest of the question. Mehran, please help me out. My girlfriend told me she wanted to marry me, told me she loved me, but then we had an argument the next day. Okay, before I go on, Black Hat, let me know again, remind me where you're tuning in from, your age, and of course I know you're a man. I guess I read it in the other question. So guys, do be kind, observe the protocol. I read the story halfway, then I don't know who you are, where you come from, how old you are, how to put this together. It doesn't help me. So do your part, please. Let me know how old you are, where you're tuning in from. If you're a man or woman, then at least I'll have a better chance to tailor make it for you. So I'll wait for that, Black Hat. I'll go to the next one. So we have 19 people here. I hope that we have 19 likes already. Now that we've fixed the fixed the flow of the picture, the resolution, and the sound. All right. So who do I have here? Black Hat says, I'm 31, male from Argentina. All right. So Black Hat says that that the girlfriend told him that she loves her and she wants to marry him, right? But the next day they had an argument, and the next day of the argument was because she was sick and couldn't give me a kiss. Okay. So I got mad at her for that. You know, come on, guys. I gotta get $1,000 for these nonsense that I'm dealing with here, because you don't seem to really focus on the message that I've been trying to send you in this channel. 1,300 movies, I mean videos, movies, exactly like it's movies. Black Hat, 1,300 videos, and you still think your importance is in the attention you get from another. That's what it pissed you off. It wasn't the kiss that pissed you off. It's the fact that you felt that kiss means dissing you, meaning you're no longer important. You don't have priority. and you needed that assurance. Rather than bringing that assurance from inside of you, you thought the assurance should come from your girlfriend. And on that note, anything that she does, which is contrary to you feeling important, makes you feel that she is against you, or your image have been tarnished, and then you get mad at her instead of getting mad at you and the way you're looking at it. So he says, so I got mad at her for that, for the fact that she was sick and she couldn't give you a kiss. How important is that kiss in your life? Black Cat, you might be feeling really shitty in your life, that your whole life and importance and assurance and confidence is hanging on your girlfriend's kiss. And especially when she's already sick and she doesn't feel like kissing you. What the hell is that? Of course. What's wrong with you? And why the hell would you want to kiss her when she's sick anyhow? What's wrong with you? You want to get sick? You behave that way, she will think that you really don't respect yourself. And if you don't respect yourself, she would think, why should she? Remember, people are attracted to each other sometimes, most of the times in a romantic way, is because one thinks the other one is more important. One thinks the other one is better than him or her. And the minute that you make her feel that she's always better than you, it's not that you love her and you pay attention to her, you feel you're respectful to her and you value her. No, you actually make her feel that you're lower than her. She came to you because she thought you're better than her. You're behaving in such a way that makes her feel you're lower than her. That defeats her real reasoning of being interested in you. That proves to her that she was wrong, you are not better than her, therefore she doesn't want to be with you anymore. You're sabotaging your own relationship. You are attracted to her because you think she's better than you. As soon as you feel that she's lower than you, she behaves in the way she does, that she doesn't meet these standards, and you're not convinced that she's better than you any longer, you will lose interest. So this behavior of yours, that you want to kiss her even though she's sick, makes her feel you really don't have much respect for yourself or responsibility for the life, as you can get sick too. Or you're trying to show her, I'm so loyal to you that even you're sick, I will kiss you to get sick. Why? Are you crazy? Both of you will be sick? She sees all these as an irresponsible behavior, infatuation about her. She doesn't think she's that hot maybe, but she says, why this guy is so infatuated with me that she even wants to kiss me when I'm sick, and he doesn't have any respect for himself or balance in thinking what she's doing, so what he's doing. So therefore, maybe he's not that much himself, because I don't think I'm much, and he pays so much attention to me. Even when I'm sick, he wants to kiss me. He has no respect for himself, and I don't think I'm really something wow. Then perhaps it means he's nothing. And on that note, she started losing interest, because you just proved to her that she was wrong thinking that you're better than her. I'm not saying you should be selfish at all. You should be kind, caring, attentive, fair, balanced, loving, and all that. But there are certain things that you do shows that you don't have respect for yourself, and nobody wants to be with someone who doesn't have respect for herself or himself. It's like she cooks some meal, or you cook some meal, or whatever, whoever cooks, I don't give a shit. And then you say, okay, put my food Anyway, you take your food and go, I don't know, sit and eat it somewhere not so clean or somewhere that you don't care. Or she happened to, I don't know, you start not treating yourself with respect as far as serving the food to yourself properly. Let's put it this way. Or you're okay with eating it in a not clean dish. This sort of behavior tells her a little bit about you, and they're not always going to be complimentary. So I'm thinking you need to really see, you need to step back a little bit and attend to yourself as far as your own importance, not just fully focus on her importance. I don't know what the level of your relationships are and who pays more attention to the other, but I think you're showing a little bit neediness, and then at the same time it looks like that you somehow, if you don't get what you want when you want, you're gonna, flip off, fly off the handle, and that doesn't make her feel secure or, to be able to counter your balanced behavior. So anyhow, long story short, says, because she was sick and couldn't give me a kiss, so I got mad at her for that. I know I fucked up. I regret it. Now she blocked me from everything and doesn't want to talk to me ever again. She says she discovered I'm extremely selfish. Well, from what I really heard here, maybe you wrote it wrong or I read it wrong, she was sick, she wanted a kiss. Why would that be selfish? Selfish that you wanted a kiss, but she was sick, yes. But also, she doesn't see that you're being like a doormat and just willing to take her germs just to prove that you're loyal to her, you love her no matter what. She missed that too. And then for all this little misunderstanding, she cuts you off from all this promise of marriage and all that the next day before. She seems like not so balanced either. It's not just you, it's also her. And while two mentally balanced people can make things work and suit each other and be a good match, but two mentally imbalanced people cannot do the same just because they're both the same. So I'm thinking you need to not take so much of a blame in this. Yeah, okay, you did as you said, but it's not that big of a deal that she would block you from all social media stuff and all that. It just looks like very childish behavior, and looks like she's been having a little bit problem, not just from yesterday to today, but from a long time, and it's been unresolved. So why don't you guys sit down and talk it over and figure out what it is, and you also man up and become who you are rather than be a doormat to her. Just want to prove to her that you think she's really all that. Why? What has she done for you? What has she accomplished in this world that has impressed you so much? Why don't you guys and girls open your eyes and see what is the other person's accomplishments and manners and ways of being in relation to this life and the well-being of all other people and all other lives in this life as a whole, and then decide how important, how wonderful that person is. Not just because you get excited because she's sexy, or you get excited because he's your boyfriend and you want to get married or something. I don't know. So go a little bit deeper before you give all those credentials to someone. Too much sun. There we go. So he continues, Mehran, my girlfriend, also always says she doesn't think I love her, even though I treat her well and do stuff for her. What to do? Well, that's her way of trying to keep you at bay and keep you hungry. No matter what you do, she says, "Oh, I don't think you love me," because it means, come on, do more, pay more attention. So if that's the kind of attitude of the girl, it's not balanced either. What to do? You got to give her space. Let her be. She over reacted, I think, unless there's so many other things from the past that she's keeping it bottled up, and now this was one reason. But you know, from one day she wants to marry you, the next day for an argument she blocks you. It's kind of, she's got a little bit some issues as well. So sit down and talk and figure out what the real issues are here. But in the meantime, I think you just let her be for a few weeks. Let her simmer, you know, down, or let her figure it out. It is her that she should be convincing herself, not you. You've been who you've been. You've been apparently a decent guy, and leave it now. If you have to, move on. Let her come back to you when she figures it out. Otherwise, this will be like a, you know, I don't know, oscilloscope. It keeps going up and down. She'll do the same thing all the time. And she'll have you wrapped around her finger, and she would know why, because her own lack of confidence, and she wants to get that confidence through you running around for her, and you will do that just because you're not sure of yourself either. Both of you need a break and figure out and see other things in life, and then figure things out. That's what I think for now, from what I'm hearing from you, the little that I know from you here. All right. Now, Feridun says, I broke up with her. I had reasons, as you say. Yeah, I remember. Then let it go. Don't worry about what she does. You just move on. She has a boyfriend. We talked about it last time in detail. So let it go. Let it go. Don't worry about it. Go get another girlfriend. You're 19. That's it. But at this age, don't look for something perfect, because you don't even know who you are, what you want, what your expectations and standards are. Let alone knowing what you're looking for. So don't expect a permanent relationship when you find a girlfriend. Just be friends with her, interact with her, get to know her, get to know each other, and whatever happens, be responsible, be a good gentleman, and then learn from that relationship. And if it lasts a year, great. If it doesn't, okay. At this age, it should not last more than a couple of years anyhow. Because if it does last more than a couple of years, it's gonna break up anyhow 2 years later, because you guys are growing up and learning things but not sure of yourself, so you're hanging around each other because you feel safe and secure. But then eventually you grow up, and then that would be 4 or 5 years into the relationship. Then one of you or both of you decide to break. Both of you will okay, but one of you decides to break up, and the other one will be devastated, because all this long you weren't really what you guys were looking for, but you were the best that you could do at the time because you didn't know much more. So pretty much at that age, anything more than 2 years, it's not until you're like 28, 29, 30. All of these will be short-lived. Hardly you will find something really resonating with you based and bonding based on consciousness level. It's mostly just fragmental of your emotions that are going to be satisfied, and it's all emotional, sexual, intimate, not really about knowing each other, loving each other. To love each other, you got to know each other. To know each other, you got to know each other's fears, desires, ego, consciousness, and you don't know that. But you're actually liking each other because of all the physical pleasures that you receive from each other. The images that you create of each other in each other's mind, in your own minds, about each other. The images that you think other people having of you being with her or her being with you. all these images and the pleasures, physical pleasures, and the norms that you've been conditioned to comply with, the society as you've been raised, keeps you guys content. Until you grow up, a few years later, say, holy shit, that's not for me, that's for them, for the society, for the image. Our images are having fun. But my center, as I know it now, and I can see a bit about her, doesn't seem to be really fulfilling each other in this relationship. Then you break up. So, take it easy for now. Move on. What's the end of this? She checks my Snapchat, she doesn't, or this and that. Okay, what's the end of it? You guys are not old enough to know who you are, let alone know what you're looking for. So therefore, it's going to be up and down for what? So what are you paying attention to what she does? Again, we go back to the physical pleasures. That's what your motivation is, and you may not know it. What else is there to tell you she's the right woman for you? At this age, you don't bloody know who you are. So, on that note, move on and don't pay attention to it. It's all right. Done there says, this is Pam, okay. Sophia, hello. 23 from Chile. Glad I caught you live stream again. Oh, thank you, Sophia. Glad that you're here too. We had a little bit of a challenge to begin with, but we are here again. David says, well, I guess I wasn't the first one this time. No, holy mackerel, of course not. You're not. You're pretty low on the roster now. But we understand. You gave up. You gave up on we being able to fix this thing. And Young 7 says, I'm 22 years old. My thoughts are controlling me and telling me you're not good enough, actually. My girlfriend broke up with me 2 weeks ago, and I still see her in university like every day. What to do? Don't give a shit. Because what you think, that your thoughts are controlling you, they're still controlling you by you thinking that you're not good enough. That's a pure bullshit. Couldn't be worse, couldn't be furthest from the truth. Everybody is good enough as long as they make genuine effort to accomplish their goals, to do their best, put best foot forward, be reasonable, balanced to themselves and others. There's nothing else needed. You don't need somebody else coming out of wherever and tell you if you're good enough or not. Whether it's your teacher, your parents, or your girlfriend. It's all up to you to judge yourself, be mindful and aware of your lifestyle, what you're doing, what you're not doing. Are you responsible? Are you making your best efforts? Are you being fair to the others? Are you being fair to yourself? Are you abiding by the norm of the society as far as it is a positive influence on you? In other words, don't be a slave to what the society wants you to do. Just think of it yourself. Like if everybody is jumping off the cliff, that doesn't mean you should. If everybody's smoking, doesn't mean you should. If everybody doing some shit, doesn't mean you should. Just because the society is, no. Figure out what is good for the society, what is good for the other people, what is good for you. If you're a good role model, if you're putting your best foot forward, if you're affecting others positively, if you're affecting your environment positively, if you're not a menace, if you're not creating negative outcomes because of your actions and behaviors, then you shouldn't give a shit what your girlfriend says or breaks up with you or not. That is not the measuring stick for who you are. She's just another human being. Happens to be a female that you seek intimacy with. Therefore, you value her more than she actually is valued as a human being. Because you value her based on the pleasure you receive, which pleasure is what your whole life is based around. every one of us. And when you see a pleasure, you think that pleasure worth a lot more than you, because without it, you can't feel the way you want to feel, the pleasure. And that happened to come from this girl. Realize that pleasure that you're making, using it to make this girl look so important, can also be provided from other sources, from other girls. Once you get to know them and they get to know you, they like you, you like them, and consensually you two decide that you're good items, and then you become boyfriend, girlfriend. So it's not just limited to her to think that, oh, if she breaks up with me, then that's an indication that I'm not good enough. You're 22-year-old. You're good enough to start and learn and become anything you want to be. And nobody can tell you you're not good enough. Why? Because you want to be good enough. And you're aware of that. You're conscious of that. But that doesn't mean that if somebody comes along and tells you, I'm not going to give you my ice cream for whatever reason, that's not supposed to mean that you're not good enough. It just means she doesn't want to give her ice cream to you. That's all. But that's not an indication about who you are, what your worth and value is. Do not measure yourself by the amount of pleasure you receive in life. Otherwise, if that would be your measuring stick, all sources of pleasure become your God. They dominate you. Whether that's alcohol, drugs, or someone that you're in love with, and you actually think you're in love with because you think you know them, but you really don't know them, because to know them is to know their consciousness, and you don't know their consciousness, but you think you love them. What is that? Because you receive pleasure. You're a heterosexual male, you love women, and therefore the pleasure of intimacy is already programmed in you. You're seeking it, and she can provide that, and suddenly you think you love her, but really you lust for her. And that's natural, that's normal, that's okay. But that doesn't mean that she's the right girl for you, or if she refuses you, that means you're not good enough. Pursuing a pleasure and being denied from a certain pleasure does not have anything to do with you if you're good enough or not good enough. It is you who think you should be measuring your worth and value with the currency of pleasure. Pleasure from your girlfriend or from a girl that you're interested in seems to be the currency that you value, you measure your value, and that shouldn't be. You measure your value, and if you're good enough or not is how you affect the society, positively or negatively. What kind of human being are you? What have you accomplished? What are you trying to prepare? What are you trying to build in this life? What are you here to do for? How are you helping yourself? How are you helping the others? That is what should be the measurement of you being good enough or not. Not a girlfriend doesn't want to give her ice cream to you. By ice cream, I mean, companionship, kindness, being in a relationship with you and all that. What she has to offer. But anyhow, the ice cream represents the pleasure of that relationship or intimacy or everything else. All right, let me stop here because there's other questions here. If you guys want to talk to me in detail about your situations, please go on my site, mind@seekstruth.com, and click on Talk to Me for consultation. Make a Skype consultation appointment, and then we'll chat what's concerning you. And of course, when you're on the site, take a look at the books that I've written. The Breakup Pain Handbook. Me, My Psyche, and I highly recommend this book. And Transient Thoughts in Me. Thoughts that appear in your head and you didn't invite them. And you want to know what they are, what they do, how to manage them. What do they mean to you? These books are all done so it could be affordable for you guys. They're a few dollars, not $100 or $80 that the paper version of it are, which is still offered on the site. But I want you to acquire Me, My Psyche, and I. If you can, it's only $5.99. And they're not priced to make me rich, obviously. They're priced so everybody can afford it, and nobody can tell me that the books are expensive. I can't afford it, but I really want to have it. Now you can, because it's what? Not even a cost of coffee. Good ones. Or tea. So, We have uploads every day. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Click on the button subscribe. We have over 1,300 videos on this channel. Pretty much anything that comes out of your mind after your breakup, you've got a video on. If you write what you feel on the search engine of my channel, there's going to be video. There's a good chance there's going to be video on it. So out of this 1,300 videos, you will learn about yourself. There is a playlist called the Psyche, which is where you will actually learn about your psyche, yourself, why you think the way you do, why you're affected the way you do, why you act and react the way you do. And then, of course, there are 800-900 videos about the rest of the stuff after breakup, why you miss your girlfriend, how to move on, and all these other feelings. There are all kinds of things. It's like a complete consultation venue here that you can have answer for your questions after your breakup. I have uploads every day, which some of them are brand new videos, some of them are the trimmed section of a question and answer on these live talks. And I hope that all these efforts will make a difference in your lives. And I am to believe from the thousands of comments and emails that I receive that it has made profound effects on your lives. And I'm delighted for that. But I need your help. I need you guys to get in touch with the people, influential people that you know in your university, maybe the radio station or the paper that university writes, or newspapers or mediums, radio stations out there outside the university, television station, news, anything that you have a contact with. Introduce our channels and my work to them and let them know what we do, how it has affected you, and ask them if they like to interview me, if they like to put us on the map. Make an effort. Share the videos you like on your social media. Talk about it. Get a Reddit account and write about it. Discord, or whatever it is that you guys know. Instagram, Twitter. Put us on the map. Don't just come here and get what you want and leave. It is all here for you for free. From my heart. As you all know, I do care. But at the same time, for us to reach more people and continue this and dedicate more time to it, I need to get exposure. And that's where you guys coming from. Do something for the channel. All right, having said that, let's go to Young 7 says, I need something strong to build my confidence again. Well, there is a big hammer that you can have and start building. What do you mean you want something strong? Strong what? All big things are made by small pieces, small fragments. Keep doing small things, small positive things every day. Those small things will have a great effects on you, big effects on you as they accumulate. You keep doing it, it's like chiseling a mountain. An old man was sitting by the mountain and chiseling. They said, what are you doing? He says, I want to bring the mountain down. They laughed at him. But years later, that simple chiseling of small pieces did diminish the size of the mountain. And it does in every case. As long as you continue, however small that activity is, as long as it's positive and good for you, you will learn, you become better, you become stronger, and it makes a difference. Small things, small movements, small actions, small positive actions will bring about big, huge changes if they're continuous and becomes your habit. Everything we do in life becomes our habit. So we must make sure to make those habits good ones. Otherwise, we'll end up having a bunch of bad habits. So focus on the quality of your actions that you do every day and make their actions, those actions continuous. Make them to be positive, and then before you know it, the big changes that you're looking for will come from small fragments. small pieces. Big changes come from accumulation of small pieces. All right. Ross says, thank you for the stream, dear Mehran. You're welcome, Ross. Can't stay here today. Have to wake up early. Just came here to like the video, and thank you so much, Ross. Ukraine, 24 years. Thank you. Very kind of you. I appreciate that. Dunder Mifflin. This is Pam. Oh, that's Sophia then. Says, I have a question for you. Do you think that some kind of emotional trauma can be generated by a really bad breakup, like suffering from post-traumatic syndrome, post-trauma syndrome? Well, you can turn anything into a trauma if you really not see what it is and give it importance when it is actually not important. You see, sometimes traumas are traumas, we know about that, but we're not talking about those real serious cases of like accidents and so on that you have that for a while until you get used to the new and safe, driving or whatever. But other kinds that you call them trauma, it's not the event that causes trauma. I sound a little Irish right now, didn't I? It's not the event that sounds like... It's not the event that sounds... that causes a trauma. It's the way you think about the event. Your thought turns it into as if it was or it is a trauma. We talk about thoughts and thinking a little bit more in future videos. But understand that your whole world is summed up in your consciousness, in your mind, in your memory, in your thoughts. You create feelings. Feelings are created. They're interpreted in your mind. Thoughts are born from it. Through the thoughts, fears, desire, ego, are fed. And then you actually think it was the event, where actually event is come and gone and finished. But your thoughts are what turns it into something devastating when it doesn't have to be. The perception of you of the event, how you interpret it, has a lot to do with what you think is a trauma. You think about an event, not just about that event, you think about the event with the overture and influences of all your conditioning. The importance that you're seeking, your value and confidence that you're seeking and aiming every day to prove it to yourself and to the others, the images that you have of yourself that has been affected through this experience or event, whatever it may be. You are concerned about what other people's image of you is in their mind. You're concerned about your importance, and you're concerned about your image of you, about you in your own mind. You're concerned about all these that has turned an event of really worth nothing into something you call trauma. When you become aware of the role of your thoughts in how you feel about yourself, then you will not necessarily think that you are how you feel about yourself yet, and it is your thoughts that have changed how you feel about yourself. Then you got to go and change your thoughts and understand where these thoughts are coming from. Why would you think thought has credibility? to the point that whatever it thinks of you, you think that's who you are. Anyhow, let's go on to the next question, because these are, again, labyrinths on their own. I don't want to turn it into one long lecture about the topic. So I give you bits and pieces, and we'll hopefully cover it in some video at a future time. Champion, 1922. This is funny. Whole life ahead of you. Haha, move on. You will look back and laugh. What is 1922? Champion. Sophia says, okay, talking to Excalibur. Feridun says, I trust the flow. Thank a lot, Aghay Mehran. Finally something I needed to hear. Okay, good. Yes. Excalibur says, so lucky. Dunder Mifflin. It's freezing. Okay, you're talking to each other. Right? Salut Barry says, hello sir, I'm 24, male from Minnesota. What do you think about marrying a girl who makes more money than you? Oh, hallelujah. Blessings. That's great. What's wrong with that? For the first 2 years of being together. What does that have anything to do with her? Do you like her? Is she decent? She's good? She's kind-hearted? She pays attention to you? She loves you? You love her? You pay attention to her? What's the difference? She makes more money than you. It's great. What's wrong with that? You both do your best, and that's all that matters. The rest is nonsense. Don't fall into that shit. So what? Yeah, she's good at what she does. Let her make money. Great. And what if you were making more money? Well, what? So what? It's all right. Either way, it's great. Blackheart says, I'm terrible. Okay, yeah, obviously, okay. Excalibur says, so Mehran, I feel a little better about the forest incident. I spoke to my dad on the phone, and he made it worse. He kept yelling and reinforcing the belief that danger is everywhere, and that I'm looking to get killed, only then I'll understand. And now I'm back to feeling anxious, angry, and stressed, and have no desire to leave the damn house to avoid all danger. Listen, you're safe now. There's no forest. There's no car not starting. Yes, that was stupid of you to be the last one to leave. And I mean that with love, not that you're stupid. It was a stupid thing to do, not that you are stupid. You gotta think things through. If you go in the forest somewhere, then you all arrive together, or one by one, but leave together. Don't leave singularly. So that was a mistake, but you learned from it. So you're stronger than before, in fact. So you will never make this mistake. So outside is safer now. Because before you were not equipped with this knowledge, and there were always a chance that you would make some mistake like this. But now that you've made this mistake and you've already recovered from it, like it went okay, you have more information, and you're wiser in that way. Therefore, that makes your world, which comes from your interaction in most cases, has a lot to do with how you are mindful and interact with it, a safer place because of your knowledge has increased. And the rest of it, you can't count on the outside elements to create a safe world for you, because they're not necessarily on your wavelength or on the same wavelength and as everybody else is. So they may be not paying attention when they're driving, or maybe they're not paying attention when they're carrying something, or even they're walking, they may bump into you, whatever. You're supposed to do your best, and as long as you do your best, that's all you can do. Just do your best. You're walking out, you want to cross the street, you look both sides, wait for the lights, and even if the lights are green, you still turn around, check if there's any car trying to turn. and things like that. Otherwise, you don't have a crystal ball to know that, oh, the guy that I'm going straight here in this street, and then there's some guy in the, I don't know, corner waiting. So these are like unlikely stuff, yeah? But when it happens, then you will do whatever you got to do at that moment. But you shouldn't be sitting and afraid of it, because if that was the case, nothing would have moved. Because if that is true, if the world is really, really that unsafe, then everybody should have felt that way. If that was true, that was the truth, then everybody should have recognized it for one reason now, that they should have had some kind of evidence of it, and everybody should be sitting at home, which would be the best time to go shopping, because nobody's outside and the stores are clear. So I'm saying, don't overdo it. It is good to be aware and alert and mindful, but that's the best you can do. The rest of it is expecting a world that is not. This is a relative world. It's not an absolute universe, so nothing is absolute in here, unfortunately. But in the relative world, you do absolutely as best as you can in order to bring it to a different quality. But you cannot use one incident and turn the whole world as if that incident was representing the whole entirety of the resonation of the world. That's not correct. So just go on, enjoy your life, be sensible, and that's good enough. That's all you can do. The rest of it, it's impossible to read through. Young 7 says she want to be friend again after we broke up. I told her no, and we are not talking on social media and the real life also. But I see her, she move on and she's living her best life like nothing happened. What do you want her to do? To go sit and cry? What? You should do the same. Instead of thinking that I expect her to be sad, let's say, she broke up or you guys broke up. So you learn from it. You go and have your best life too. Focus on your studies, focus on your job, whatever it is your situation is. Focus on getting new friends, finding new friends, socialize, live, accomplish your task, live a life. Life is not in her. Life is not in one relationship with one woman. Life is far bigger than that. Understand it and enjoy it. That's living a full life. That means living a full life, meaning not to be stomped on, not to lay down and roll over. Just get up when you fall and focus on the opportunities and possibilities and move on. That's it. What else you want to do? You can't wait others to do the right thing for you, to your advantage, to your pleasure. Do it yourself. Move on. Build your life. Don't expect others to bring it to you or build for you. It's not good. Go build it. Find somebody else. Build your own self first. Accomplish yourself. Then go and find another relationship. He asked, so should I block her from social media or not? Well, why are you asking me? What do you get from her? You don't want to be with her, or she doesn't want to be with you. Anyhow, it's not, she's gone and she's having her boyfriend and she also wants to be friends with you. What for? It's not going to be healthy for you. Just move on. Block her. Don't pay attention to her. Just move on with your life. Focus on your own life. That's it. Unless, she wants to come back to you. She doesn't want to come back to you. I don't know. I don't remember the situation. So don't expect me to remember, because there's so many questions that I answer. I don't have the scenarios in my mind. But I don't know who broke up with whom. But whatever it is what it is. So when you have broken up and she doesn't want to come back, or you don't want to go back to her, then what's the reason to want to hang around? Block her and move on. And when you see her, yeah, you be pleasant or whatever, be yourself. But you don't have to be nasty or disrespectful. But just don't have to be on social media with her either. Block her and go on. What do you spend your time on? One snapshot of ha ha ha, and then you start a story about her. Oh yeah, she must be having fun. Oh, she must be having so much attention. Oh, then see how pretty she is. I could have had that. All that shit in your head. Nonsense. She's a human being. She has a picture with a smile. Okay, what has she accomplished to suddenly deserve your whole entire loyalty and wow and whatever? Move on. She's just another human being. It didn't work out between you two. Block her and move on. That's it. Michael says, hello, sir. First of all, thank you for your work. You're welcome. It's so amazing. I'm delighted to hear that. My question is how to behave around her if I will meet her everywhere, like parties, school, etc., college. Thank you. Nothing. Think of her as a girl that you don't know. Simple. But the difference is that you actually know about this girl that you want to pretend you don't know. Like the other girls in the school parties or in the university or in the wherever. So many girls you don't see, you see them and you don't know them. And you just see them. You have no feelings and you say, okay, they're there. Oh, yeah, some of them are hot. Some of them you like to know. It would be nice to say hello to some of them. But if you knew so many things about the ones that you desire to get to know, if you knew enough about them, you would have decided, you could have decided, you might have decided, oh, I know that girl, I know of that girl, that's not a good character, I don't want to know her. And the other one, oh yeah, okay, yeah, she looks hot, but she's like dumb. Or she looks hot, but she's got weird behaviors, I don't want it. If you know all these little things that you don't know when you look at girls in parties and everywhere else, if you knew about these little things, you would have not looked at them with the same interest that you do when you don't know anything about them. But you don't know, that's why you look at them with interest. Oh, possibilities. But the girl, the ex, you already know about problems that she has or she had with you, or the fact that she doesn't want to be with you, or she doesn't like you, or she did like you, or she broke up with you. All these are good enough reason to disqualify her, because why would you want to be interested in someone who has broken up with you or no longer interested in you, or you know things about her that doesn't interest you? You know enough about her to have enough reason not to care and look at her as someone that you really don't care to know. That's how you should look at it. Don't look at it with the eye of the memory. Oh, I know her and I remember we had such a good time and intimate. Why? Why would you think of her the same way if she has broken up with you? If she is not for you, you don't care how it was when you guys were together. Because when you guys were together, she was a different girl. Now that you're not together, she's a different girl. And you're still looking at this different girl now that she's not with you, with the eye of the past, with the eye of how she used to be and how you used to look at her, how she used to pay attention to you. That's not right. That's not her. You're not seeing her. If you see her, you will see a girl who broke up with you and you would have no interest in her, because when a girl breaks up with you, she disqualifies her to be paid attention to by you. But you still look at her and think, oh, but she's not who she is now. She's who she used to be. No, if she was who she used to be, she would still be with you. The reason she's not with you because she's no longer who she used to be, and that is not the girl you want to be with, because she's not who she used to be. That's how you should look at her. So when you see her around, just know that she's not who she used to be, and you liked her when she used to be some way else. And that, you know enough that you know she's not what you're interested in. And you say, oh, I'm interested. No, you shouldn't be interested. The girl who breaks up with you, that's the end of your interest for her. It's a deal breaker. Most important part of the whole thing to like a girl is if she likes you. If she doesn't like you, you should have no interest for her. That's the end of it. Especially you guys been together already and she broke up, so then she doesn't deserve to have your attention anymore. She had that chance. Now she doesn't. It goes both ways. That's how both of you should be thinking about each other. But I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about you. But in reality, when things don't work out, then that means that's how you should look at it. As an entity that things didn't work out with her. Not that, oh, it didn't work out with her, but you know what? It could have. So let me miss her because it could have. At one time did. And I don't care that in the actuality now it doesn't. I just care about how it was and how it could have been, which is both non-existence, illusory life. So your life is in la la land instead of really facing it. This. It's like a car about to hit you and you're thinking about, oh, yesterday this car wasn't here. So I'm looking at it like a car that it really is not going to hurt me. It's coming to hit you. This is a different place. This car is running a different direction and you're in front of it. It's a different time. You can't be thinking about this car that you saw, same car yesterday, and it was going the other side of the street and it was safe. It didn't hit you. So I should still think of it the same way. No. Or you shouldn't be thinking about, well, it's about to hit you, but you're thinking about, you know, that would be a nice car to go on a trip. No. You focus on how it is, see it the way it is, and act accordingly. Same thing. She is no longer deserving your attention because you know enough to know that she's not qualified anymore. That's how you should look at it. Hope that helps you out. Michael, and by the way, you didn't tell me where you tuning in from, how old you are, and please do that. I don't know how I should ask everyone to do that. How old you are, where you tuning in from, and if you're a man or woman. That's what I really need, at least. Excalibur says, I shouldn't laugh, but I'm so loyal. He says, I shouldn't laugh, but in brackets says, I'm so loyal, I'll kiss you even if you're sick. And whoever cooks for the other. All right, true. Nasiya says she will unblock you back. Don't worry. Okay, I don't know what that was. Excalibur says, I mean the way you said them was funny. Yeah, I know. Christina VC. Hello, Christina. Christina says, hi, Mehran. F25 from New York. Oh, thank God somebody finally said the protocol properly. Female, 25 from New York. That's it. See, F25NY would have done it. F25NY. Just 3 little things, guys. Do it. Do it. So Christina says, I'm applying to law school now. Ah, good. The process is not easy and it's very competitive. I'm worried that I won't get accepted after all the hard work and time I've put on. Well, then you will try again. Don't worry. Worry doesn't help you. Worrying that you will not be accepted will not help you to be accepted. But if you put your, instead of worry, you put your attention to preparing better and stronger and genuinely focus and learn it, don't try to memorize it, just learn it, picture the scenarios, the cases, the application of the law, understand the merits of it, why, the roots of it, to be able to calculate all that and get to the why this law came to be in effect, what's the benefit of it, what's the argument for it. If you understand all that, it's easier to remember it all, and you will pass. Why not? What's wrong with you? You will. Instead of focusing on that, focus on the fact that what you should prepare, and then prepare as best as you can. That's all you can do, and that's good enough. Don Diego. Hello, Don Diego. How are you? Excalibur says, if the world was really that unsafe, everyone would recognize it and stay at home. That's a great quote, Mehran. I needed to hear it. Yeah, of course. And that is very true. Abhijit says, Dear Mehran, Dadbeh, why do you think people have this concept of the one or soulmate? Yeah. Because they've been conditioned to think that there is such thing. That's it. They don't have that concept. They never had that concept. They've heard it from here and there, from their childhood. Oh, you will meet your soulmate. Oh, you will meet your whatever. This, they've created that. Then the movies, then the talks, the books, the tradition in the religion, your destiny. It's written. You will meet her or you will meet him. All that. Otherwise, there was no such concept. Nobody should believe there is the one. You either get to know each other and see their consciousnesses are compatible, or at least you can tolerate each other, understand each other's consciousness, bond at that level, or you don't care and you just go on the physical connection, and then that always breaks apart after a certain time. As long as there are things and entertainments and amusements around, you think that you're hitting it off. But these are all escapes and excuses, that you find activities and fun to be the only way that you guys can tolerate each other, instead of actually understanding what life is all about, what you're doing here for, what are you trying to build together, and what are the limitation of the expectations, rather than thinking that, oh, I'm here in this relationship so she could make me happy, and as long as she does, then I'm good. So she'll be what? A clown, a dancer for you. And when she doesn't, then that means we are not good for her. And then she thinks the same. Oh, I'm gonna get married or be in that relationship with that guy because she expects the guy to make her happy. What, is he gonna be a clown for you, or just you sit there and you don't do anything, you don't take responsibility for your life, and then he has to do everything as long as he's sucking up to you enough and bringing things and amusements and entertainment, then you will feel content and fulfilled. Otherwise, you won't make any effort to make yourself fulfilled, and you just want the guy to do it, and the guy wants the girl to do it, and therefore they eventually say, well, it's not going to work because they also have to make themselves happy. Who's going to make them happy if they're constantly busy making you happy, making the other one happy? So eventually they all give it up. But if each focus that happiness is their own responsibility for themselves, and then they work on the relationship, and they will develop and grow together, and they understand that relationship is not about just being entertained. It's not a fucking holiday. It's supposed to do something, build something, and then understand their lows and highs. If you got together because you were high on fun and you thought, well, as long as we have fun, then we're right for each other, well, that was a mistake. Because being in a relationship is not about being based on fun. Oh yeah, we have so much fun together, so we should be together. No, that's not. That's why it breaks down. That's why you guys get disappointed. You got to focus on why you're in the relationship for, and understand relationship has ups and downs. And there are days that you guys simply can't stand each other, just because you've got things and fears and issues in yourself that you want to attend to. But you don't have to think, oh, it's her fault because I'm. No. You just have to attend to your business, and she attends to her business, and understand that you're not there to entertain each other. Don't feel guilty if you can't have time for her or she doesn't have time for you. There is a person in you. If that is not taken good care of, you won't be able to actually be good companions for each other either. So reduce your expectations from all the responsibility of being happy on the other person's shoulder. And then you will have a better chance to actually tolerate each other and enjoy each other, because you are together with no expectations. But if you're together to be entertained, and that's your expectations, you're together because you want the other one to make you happy, that's your expectations, then you'll be disappointed. All right. Witness says, hello, I'm 42 UK. Thank you for that. How to get over your wife after divorce? Do you have children? If I see her every day as we work at the same place, we got 2 kids to share. She moved on pretty easy as she initiate divorce. I'm struggling. Don't struggle. Be a man. You're 42 at the top of your game. Age 40 in the 40s is the best time of your life. You're wise, you're experienced, You got to keep in shape, exercise, eat right, focus on your life. You're very young. Be the best father you can be. That's your motivation for life, to bettering yourself in life. And in time when you're ready, find another woman. If you want, find another woman. Don't wait around and see her go out with this and that. She can have her own schedules, and wish her well. That's all. She's a human being. You're a human being. You gave each other a few years of your lives. You produced 2 children. Now your whole focus, both of you, should be on creating a certain environment that is full of kindness and love for the children to feel that they still have mom and they still have dad and they both love them. They're just not together, and that's okay. But do not make the children, have to sacrifice their proper upbringing environment because you guys happen to not to want to be together. And you be a man, don't be a doormat. Just take care of the children, take care of yourself, attend to your job, be focused on your job. Do not let it hinder your job and opportunities, and be helpful to her. Be beyond that, be bigger. She's the mother of the children. I don't care if she's stupid or not stupid, she's made a big mistake or she didn't, you were a good guy and she left you, or you were an asshole, she left you. I don't care what the reason was. Right now, this is what it is. You be the best father you can be, and you be helpful to her as well, to bring the best in her for the children. Give her good consult. Talk to each other about the problems and challenges that may face the children. Ask each other not to bring other dates in front of the children if the children are very young. Have this kind of a rule together, and for the love of the children, respect for the children and their upbringing, proper upbringing and psychological security, so they don't have to deal with it themselves. Agree with each other, certain rules, and create a safe environment for the children. And that should be your first and foremost priority in life now. The children, your job, and yourself. Which actually goes your job, got to bring money, take care of the children, spend as much time as you can, make sure you have joint custody and be involved in every aspect of their lives. School, homework, teacher-parent meeting, everything. Just because she decided to leave doesn't mean you're no longer a father. You are the father of those children. You're the role model to those children, and she is the same. So make sure she and you both will give love to the children, have access to the children, and don't deny each other from that privilege and that responsibility. You decided not to, or she decided to break the relationship, the marriage. Not them, not the children. So make sure you respect that and talk to her about it. And remember, at one time you guys loved each other. That's why you got married. For that respect, now that you have 2 children, you must make sure the children will not be denied of their opportunity to be raised in a proper environment and safe environment. Talk to each other about the rules of engagement with other dates, and make sure, at least if the children are young, go on your dates when the children is with the other parents. If the children are with her, you can go on your date. If the children are with you, she can go on her date. Just be aware of that. Make sure that would be respected. All right, let's go on to Excalibur says, now, occasionally I imagine the people who helped me pulling out a knife, intrusive thoughts, and how unsupportive Dad was. Make me sick. No. Don't be so critical of your dad. Your dad, I don't think he was being destructive to you. He was expressing his love for you because he was expressing his fear of something happened to you. Otherwise, why would he give a damn if you tell him that story? His fear was getting the best of him because his fear was about you not being careful next time and creating or allowing same kind of circumstances to be created. But basically, he was just fearful of losing something that he loves the most, which is you. Understand that. He's a human being. He's your dad. Of course he was fearful. And he projected that to you because he wanted to make sure that you will be more mindful and careful about that. Excelver says, when I'm not distracted by something, but I'm sleeping better than the previous days. So I hope it's a good sign that I'll forget this shit after soon. Listen, it was only imagination. In fact, there was no danger. It was your mind that created danger, your fear, anxiety. Otherwise, there was no danger, because there was none. Right? There was none. Nothing happened, right? You ran with the idea of the car is not turning. What if while the car is not turning on, something happens, somebody shows up, somebody comes, and whatever. It's in the woods. But really nothing happened. So focus on the outcome. Focus on the truth, not how your mind ran with the story and conjured up things that were not really happening, but became because that's a business of the mind. It tries to protect you, so it creates fear, so you'll be more alert. And that's what it is. Sometimes it does a little bit too much. So be cool about it. It's okay. It's your mechanism, safety mechanism. But you don't have to focus on what hasn't happened. Next time, prepare better so you won't be caught in that kind of a circumstance. Secondly, it hasn't happened anything. We're all safe and fine, and focus on that. Excelver says, lol, Mehran, when you imitate us saying things like, ooh, she was everything, and ooh, I can't forget, makes me chuckle. Yeah, you should. It's chuckling time. It's chuckleable. Michael says 22 male, Czechoslovakia. Okay, thank you. Oh, Michael says 24. Oh, you just grew 2 years in a second. Well, still, thank you for that. VV31 male, California says, hi Mehran, enjoying the talk. Thank you, you're welcome. Delighted that you're enjoying the talk. Wafa Wafa. Okay. I wonder if there's a name there, or should I say woof woof? Woof Wafa Wafa. It says, hello 21 female. 21 female from where? Why are you guys so secretive? If that's the case, I should shut this out too. You know, why secretive? Where are you tuning in from? How old you are, if you're male or female, whatever your gender is. So that's good. And hello to you as well, 21 female Wafa Wafa. You've been here before, haven't you? I'm sure you have, because that name rings a bell, and at the same time, you know the protocol. So obviously you've been here before. Dan Diego says, sorry, I haven't been tuning in as much. Been busy with schoolwork. That's all right. We understand. Go for it. Abhijit says, thank you so much for your response for my soulmate question. If I get to meet you someday, I'll buy you a cup of tea. I'm not going to wait until you meet me to buy me a cup of tea. I want tea every day. In fact, Garçon, where are you? Still not here. It's a poor production. They don't take care of the guest speaker. What can I say? Which reminds me, you guys, promote the channel. Promote the channel. Promote the, did I say promote the channel? Please promote the channel. Share the videos you like on social media. And if you have connections in the media out there somewhere, podcast, newspaper, radio, television, whatever it is, university, radio, television, or newspaper, or outside, just introduce the channel, introduce my work, and let them do an interview, let them write a piece on it, let them have questions, and then we will be a little bit better on the map. Share the videos. Please share the videos. That's very important. Abhijit says, Okay, you're talking to him. Cutie Pie says, but every time my ex comes to visit the kids, he harasses me to have sex with him. Oh, that's not good. I feel uncomfortable. What should I do? Well, did you just came from the middle of the... Did I miss a question from you? Because I don't seem to have a prelude to this. Anything about that? Well, nothing. Just obviously you're separated. I don't know how long. That's not in there. How old you are? Where you tuning in from? What kind of background, cultural background? I need these at least. So, where you tuning in from? How old you are, and how old he is? How long you've been married or been together? How old are the kids? And stuff like that, at least. Yeah. Then I can elaborate on it. Excalibur says, and final question is, as you said, it was unexpectedly a mistake that I did. Should I forgive myself? If so, well, no, you should not forgive yourself. You should go and hit your head to the wall 100 times and then beat yourself silly. Of course you should forgive yourself. What do you mean? Should I forgive yourself? What do you want? Punish yourself? What does that mean? Should I forgive myself? Of course you should forgive yourself. Who are you? Aristotle? Pluto? Someone who knows it all. You made a mistake. You made a mistake. And you were the one who were going to get hurt. Nobody else, anyhow. So you're not responsible for having done wrong to anybody else. And you learn from it. Of course. Sure. What happened? What happened? Just got lost in the jungle and then you got scared. So big deal. But you're okay. Focus on now. Of course you should forgive yourself. Never harm yourself. Never harm yourself. Never hit your head to the wall. Never beat yourself silly. It was a joke. I hope you're not going to do that. Understand that. Disclaimer. That was a joke. And Excalibur says, and thank you for the reminder about dad meaning positively, but was acting on emotions. Yeah, of course. You know, dads, we're scared shitless, when we are not in control to be helpful to our children. That's a natural instinct of a father, of a mother. But what did you want him to say? Oh, who gives a shit? Oh, you're okay. Okay, fuck off. What? So he got a little bit of anxiety about you having put yourself in harm's way or possibility. And you deserve it. You got to get shit from him, then you will not do it again. That's okay. That's love. Don't be so, I'm no longer a child. Yeah, you're not a child, but you're a child to that father who wiped your ass when you were a kid. Fed you, cuddled you, comforted you. Same with your mother. They loved you. So you'll always be there. They always love you. So if somehow they be rough on you because they're scared, they, feel emotional, talk to you emotionally, it's okay. They don't mean to hurt you. They're just scared because they're not in control anymore. When you guys grow up, you're not in control anymore. And that scares the shit out of us because we've been conditioned to be watchful, to do our best to bring the best possible environments for you. We're no longer needed as much, and we are no longer in control of anything. And so we're naturally anxious because we can't see that everything is going well with you guys on every moment basis. Therefore, we kind of freak out a little bit. So when something like that happens, it kind of makes you think, oh, is he careful? Is he doing the right things? Or should I be around? And I can't be around. And I'm old anyhow. And whatever. All these thoughts go through your mind. So be a little bit you know, loving, forgiving, gracious about it. Understand which angle they come from. And keep your, you know, ducks in a row. Prepare well. Don't fuck up. Simple. No, go on now. Yeah, chuckleable. Thank you for the great answer. All right. Wafa says, yeah, you pronounced my name correctly, but I didn't understand what you're talking for. Okay, that makes two of us, because I don't understand what you're talking for right now. I was trying to say where you come from, Wafa. Like you say 21 female, but I don't know what country. That's what I was asking for. Excalibur says, if the subreddit moderator allow advertising, I will definitely talk to them about you, Mehran. Okay, but I don't know how it works. Why don't you guys just, if you guys want to, whoever wants to, open an account and create a forum, create a place for people to talk about this, and then you guys can talk about the channel. Michael says, do you have some powerful mind technique to just stop memorizing her in the light your mind wants? You just got to understand what you're doing is wrong. Simple. I have many videos. I have 1,300 videos on this channel. Just go and search it. It says how to move on. And then you will see one of them, I don't know which one, that tells you, see her for who she is now. See her for the eye of the now, with the eye of the now, not eye of the past. So if you focus on who she is and the reasons that you guys broke up, and the fact that she's not who she used to be, then being aware of that, mindful of that, naturally helps you to focus on the actuality of her, which will discourage you from actually desiring her, because she, the way she's behaving and is today, is not what you're looking for. Therefore, why would you be interested in? Then you will know whatever interest you have is just based on the fact that you had something, you don't have it, you still want to have whatever you had, and it's intimate, and you can get all of that over all of that. And there is a video that is called How to Delete Your Memory. How to delete your memory. I have it on my channel. You go there, click on search and say how to delete your memory. That will come, and learn and see what it says. That could help you out to understand why you should focus on your life, building your life, focus on daily affairs of yours, every moment of your life. Be with the now, with the present moment. Don't keep going into memory and look at the memories and stay there because you feel safe. And I've explained before that the reason you keep going into memory, remembering her of the way she used to be, is because mind seeks security. Because mind doesn't have a home. Mind is all over the place. Does not have a home. It's not like your finger that is here, your wrist is here, your ears are here, your nose is here, your eyes are here, your arms and legs, everything, you know where they are. They have a place in your body. The mind is not a physical form, doesn't have a place in the body. It hasn't been taught to have a place to be with you. Therefore, it flies all over the place, but is looking for a home. So it finds home in the memory, where things are known. That's why it's called field of the known. And there's no surprises there. So he goes in there and then finds a place where it can give him security. He gets the security. The mind gets the security through an order in life. Now that she has left you, the order that you guys had created through mechanical processes were the things that you guys used to do together or singularly. That was part of the norm of your day. that was the mechanical processes that you would go through, you were engaged in. Through the mechanical processes, a certain order, certain way of living, certain norm was created in your lives together. And she and her, you had brought about that order, had made that order. That order was different than the way things were before you guys met. Now that you guys met, you guys created a new order with the different mechanical processes. That order that was created by the both of you was what would give the mind security. Now that she has left, the order is broken. The mind doesn't have security. So it goes to the memory to find that how things were, which is the order of the things the way they were. It still exists in the memory. If the mind is in the memory, it finds that order through that order, which doesn't exist now because she's left, one of you have left, through that order in the memory. By being engaged in the memory, the mind finds security. So the problem right now, they keep thinking of her because your life doesn't have the order that it had, which you had made with her. By focusing on your life, building your life, accomplishing yourself, focusing on being who you want to be and what kind of life you want to have, and eventually finding a new order like you had it before you met her, you will then find that, create that security for your mind through the new order, and the mind will less likely to go into the memory because you're now busy building things, new things, and having the horizon opened up, and your eyes is on the horizon, and you're accomplishing things, looking for other opportunities and exploring other things, and hopefully find another suitable relationship. That's why. Now, and he says, by the way, not Czechoslovakia, Czech, and oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Czech Republic. There we go. And Excalibur says, haha, I didn't mean I shouldn't forgive myself. I meant if forgive is the right word, as I put the word in brackets. Okay then, how can I go about forgiving myself? Saying it out loud, haha. Just say, yeah, okay, it happened, I'm okay, I don't give a shit, I'm going on. That's it. That's forgiving yourself. What the fuck you want? Forgive yourself. Who are you? King whoever? Forgive yourself. What do you mean? No need to be forgiven. You did something, it was stupid, you learned from it, you will never do it again. Believe me. Believe me, you won't do it again. Excalibur says, because the relationship Soberdits, what? Already have thousands of subscribers. That where we got the exposure. I'm sorry, I don't get it. I do not get what you mean here. Something that I must probably understand. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Excalibur says, I know I already said find a question, but I forgot this one. When we're alone, Why does the mind decide the best thing to do is to mostly think depressing and not happily? I answered that elaborately last time, which is uploaded separately, Excalibur. Check that out. I think that is relevant to what you are asking here. Why does the mind decide the best thing to do is mostly think depressing? No, it's not the best thing to do, because that's the first time that it has a time without distraction of the Borg noises that we discussed last time, to actually think about its relationship with itself. It's deeper than that, and perhaps we can talk about it some other time. But right now we're at the end of the thing, coming, slowing down. But focus on what I just said. Watch what I uploaded a couple of days ago. That was your own question last time, why we feel lonely at nights. And now you say that, when we are alone, why does the mind decide the best thing to do is to mostly think depressing and be not unhappy? Because most of your life is spent on the Borg, the sounds, the distractions, the opinions of the others, what's important, and focusing on importance and not you. And you don't really know yourself, you don't know your consciousness, you don't even know how to deal with your own mind, and you think your thoughts are the world, where your thoughts are actually a creation of your own consciousness, which is limited. Your knowledge is limited, your thoughts are limited, therefore your knowledge about yourself is limited, yet you think your mind is focused on thinking about the negative things and being depressed, is because it doesn't know how to treat itself. It's the only time it finds when you're alone to think about itself, and it doesn't know what to do, where to think, how to connect, and it goes into protective modes, things that you don't have, things that you never thought during the day because you were busy with all other things happening. So basically, it's not the default function of the mind, it's just the way that you haven't had time to train it how to behave when you're alone, how to think, what to focus. There's so much in this universe that you're missing it all by simply not having paid attention to get to know and be acquainted with the life force, with the energy, with the universe, with the environment, with the world that you live in. And then you think, I have nothing to think about, because you haven't really introduced yourself to this whole environment, to this whole life. And therefore your mind keeps going to the default which you have created for it because of not training it to think about things you don't have, things that you miss, things that you want, based on the conditionings you've received through the societies, that life, meaning of life is this, is that, opinion of the other people, I gotta be that, I'm this, I gotta be that, I gotta be more. All of that makes you depressed, because you're always reacting to conditionings you've received. You're not really reacting to life and your place and your role in this universe as part of the universe. Representation, a gateway to the universe. You see yourself as me and the universe, me and nature, separate from nature. That's how you've been treated and trained to think. You gotta move yourself back into where you belong, part of nature, part of life, part of the universe. Then you feel stronger, you feel much more powerful, you feel part of the big whole thing. There'll be less reason to be scared and depressed in that way. All right. Reddit, Excalibur says Reddit works as subreddits. Oh, I see, subreddits, which are the communities in Reddit terminology. Oh, I see. I don't know how it works, guys. You guys know it. Maybe you can do something. Okay. All right. Vivi says, do you think a cheater can change and never do that again? Vivi, I'm sorry, I apologize, but I don't really remember because there's no picture to remind me if you're a man or woman. And the Vivi, again, I don't necessarily, I think you're a man, but I don't know in this way. So always guys remind me of, again, that 3 code, like the age, man or woman, female, F or M, the age, and the city or the country. So it kind of gives me a little bit of a background, remembering our conversation, at least if it needs to be. But I think you're a man. So you're talking about if your girlfriend has cheated on you. Depends how much time or what kind of a focus that cheater has had on the act and on herself or himself or whatever the situation was. Everybody's different, and everybody's reaction to their action is different. How they see it in relation to their growth or lack of it, or in their development, is different. So there is no one way of seeing it. 31 male, California. Thank you. So I think that is what I can say, unless we know the exact situation. Maybe it can help, but I think there's always a possibility of people to change, because when you necessarily, let's say you did I say you? Let's say you touch a sharp object or a super hot object, steel, iron or something, or fire, it burns your hand, right? Seldom you would think it was a pleasurable thing to go and redo it again, right? But if you don't think about the experience of it, you may actually do it again, because you may not really remember how awful or what feeling you had, and you may actually be attracted with another sharp object, thinking that this would be different, or another hot stuff that you may burn your finger at. But if you do think about it, you will reflect on it, you will perceive it, you will analyze it, you will see the effect of it on you, then you will learn something, you decide something, you make a decision on your future perception of such behavior or such action, whatever it may be. Could be sporting activities, could be cheating. So it depends if this person has had pondering on that effect and seeing the effect of it on his or her growth, and if that's the path that he or she wishes to put himself into or herself into, for her or his advancement. I'm going to talk one person. It's going to be hard to say him, her, this and that. So if she does that, then she may decide, okay, that's not me, I don't want to do it again, that wasn't good, that was really demeaning to me, and it didn't solve my problem, it was stupid, so I will have a policy now. By having done something wrong, sometimes we learn that that thing should never be repeated. But when we haven't done something, we think by doing that we will be adding something, and there would be an opening for why we are not happy, and we might actually change the quality of our life until we do it, because we didn't have foresight to see it before we commit the action. We couldn't see that this is not going to be a good thing, and we make a mistake and we commit to that action, and then later on, though, we may actually see, oh, that was shitty, that was not good, now that I've done it. So that could also mean this person will never do that again. But then again, it could be the other way around. So it depends really on the person. Michael says, do you have any video about the love addiction? Well, I have a video that is called To the Limit of Addiction. If you search into the limit of addiction, I don't remember the rest of the name of the title of the video, but it will tell you why you feel addicted to that girl or to that whatever. It might be something that you might be looking for. In my live discussions, these feelings of codependence and all that, these questions have come up and I've answered them. So But unfortunately, not every single question and answer in the live talks have been trimmed to be uploaded as one single separate video. So I'm not sure. You just search it on my engine. I think, I'm not sure. You guys tell me. I think this channel is the biggest channel as far as different questions answered and material. I'm not sure, but I think every question has been discussed in a deeper level than many other approaches, which I've heard from you guys, of course. So on that note, there's a good chance that you may find what you're looking for, but definitely you will find it in the live talks, but I don't know which live talks talks about what. I used to put titles on the live talks, but in every live talks there's maybe 20, 30 questions. I only can title one of them. That still doesn't mean anything. Often I trim them as one separate video for every question and answer that seemed to be something that everybody could benefit from. Yep, Excalibur, that's right. Okay, what is that? The YouTube police. This is the YouTube police. Put your hands up. Okay. I don't know, is that funny or what? He says, I broke up with my uncle. Sweet Alama. Okay. We have a troll here. All right. Says, how do you cope with dating someone that turns out to be a sister? My friend Adian wants to know. Oh, I see. Okay, let me tell you what you tell Adian. Let me read a couple of the other questions and I'll get back to you in a second. All right. All right. All right. So, Nasro, let me just put this. This guy on break. Bunch of idiots. They don't have anything better to do. Nasro says, hello, my dear Mehran. Hello, dear Nasro. Good to see you here. Excalibur says, great answer again. Training the monkey mind is the key. Then, haha, yes, okay. And Vivi says, thank you, Mehran. Interesting perspective on cheaters. You gave me food for thought. Sean says, I have a friend called Nathan who's addicted to watching animal mating documentaries. How can I help him? Well, you can tell the animals to help him. For now, you take a break for now for that stupid question. There we go. What is it that we have a sign on our forehead that we entertain trolls? All right. That's right. Okay, guys, we reached the end of our questions. I thank you very much for being here. Thank you for giving me your time. I appreciate that. I love you all. And it's time for me to have another tea and perhaps chill a little bit. And I hope you guys will be good to yourself, to the others. And I'll hope to talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.